Hello. Today's session will focus on getting recognized immediately during an interview and what employers have said about those that stood above the rest to get hired. What things are said in an interview that may get the person hired immediately? For example, if a person showed up to an interview with a blank notebook and pen and took notes, might impress everyone sitting in the interview. But what really sealed the deal was when the person then emailed everyone on the panel with follow-ups to any questions that they asked during the discussion that might have been needed to have further clarification. Sometimes during an interview, questions may be asked that might need further clarification. It's okay to admit that further clarification may be needed in order to answer the question correctly. Don't be afraid to ask for help in order to give the best possible answer. You may have been asked to describe a challenging situation that you had to overcome. Maybe you are a little timid and quiet and at first might not know how to answer that question. Try to find a situation or a story that will describe a time you may have been put to the test and end it with how you handled it under great pressure, or at least pretty well. That will usually impress the interviewer. Sometimes the interview will turn into more of a conversation between the interviewer and the prospective employee, and in most cases will send the interviewer in another direction, feeling that this person is very personable and may be more likely to be hired. When faced with an interview panel, some panelists may seem a little more difficult to win over, but usually if you can get them to see at least one good side and flip the conversation so that they can relate to what you are saying, you will most likely end up getting the job. When asked questions that you're not so sure about, ask if you can take a few minutes to think about the answer and then deliver the best answer back to the interview panel. This will in most cases impress everyone because most people being interviewed would just blurt something out as it came to their mind, and since their particular question was a bit tricky to answer, their answer was usually incoherent or not consistent with other answers that people had given. Anytime someone appears and shows sincere excitement for the job, and not just the job, but the company and the industry too, the individuals is showing that they truly care about the job at hand and spark enthusiasm for a field that they truly care about. Sometimes applicants feel that giving robotic answers to questions that they are presented will help them shine during an interview. In most cases, that is correct. Employers are looking for people to join their team that are talented, polished, and impressive. Those that are willing to go the extra mile and who have superb attitude, the go-getter, the ones who show that they are and have the personality and character to get the job done and to fit into the organization. It's okay to be nervous and it's okay to be a little awkward at times. Employers take the attitude that they will be spending 5 days a week together and they're going to add a tremendous value and should be valued also. Employers are looking for individuals who will go the extra mile and try to resolve an issue at hand and then report the outcome, as opposed to an employee who cannot think outside the box or come up with a plan with solutions to present to the team to resolve any issue. Here's another example of when asked about, say, the first job you ever had. And the response is, when I was 15, I skateboarded to the car wash to wash cars to save money up to buy my own car. Sounds pretty good so far, right? Well, additionally, that car wash was staffed with prisoners on a work release program. So she was absolutely unafraid of working nor intimidated by that. I knew the job we were training her for wouldn't intimidate her or scare her and turns out she's getting ready to get a promotion now. I can tell you, using buzzwords or textbooks responses will probably not get you hired and possibly even get you an instant no hire. Many times, employers are looking for positive attitude, commitment to service, and even being able to provide concrete examples of work completed. In some cases, the applicant looks good on paper and has lots of experience. They did not talk about their experience enough or answer questions fully about the organizational process. When asked about specifics, be sure to provide specifics and be detailed when explaining. For example, talk about customer service and prioritizing the needs of the customers by the importance and the process that should be given to each person served. Give a full picture and be descriptive along with stressing the importance of your experience. Employers want to see the process and understand strengths and weaknesses. Remember that not all interviews will be successful, but sometimes the employer has such a connection with the applicant that they want to hire the person prior to the end of the interview. Employers may often see the potential and good in people in addition to their worth to the company. If not, don't get discouraged and keep interviewing and improving on your responses and communication skills. Being persistent pays off. This concludes today's session, and we hope that you found this presentation not only informational, but also useful in your job search efforts. Thanks, and have a great day.